Parliament is closed. Congratulations.
Europe's carbon market forces power plants and factories to buy carbon dioxide permits when they pollute. It has slashed those sectors' emissions by 43% since 2005, but is facing a revamp to hit more ambitious EU climate change targets. Parliament voted to approve, with a large majority, a deal agreed last year by negotiators from EU countries and Parliament to reform the carbon market to cut emissions from 2005 levels by 62% by 2030. Under the upgrade, factories will lose the free CO2 permits they currently receive by 2034, and shipping emissions will be added to the CO2 market from 2024. Europeans have been given a very expensive energy transition, especially now that there is a crisis due to the war in Ukraine. It is a mistake to speed up and create a narrative that faster is better for Europeans. In addition, there is to be a separate ETS2 for fuels that are used in road transport and for the heating of buildings. The Fit for 55 package assumes that from 2030, all new buildings will be emission-free. Existing buildings, for their part, are to be transformed into emission-free buildings by 2050. The EU countries with the lowest GDP, where most consumers heat their homes with fossil fuels, coal or gas, and where electric mobility is underdeveloped, will be hit by this ETS2. In March, the Council of the European Union agreed to ban selling new cars with internal combustion engines from 2035. In practice, this means that it will not be possible to buy or register new petrol or diesel cars after 2035. They think that in this way they are going to save the world. The European Union is responsible for only 8% of the CO2 emitted in the world. The Eurocrats naively imagine that their example will drag the Communist Party leaders of China or of India with them. That will not happen. We are creating a kind of Euro-Skansen. The Eurocrats are making people's lives difficult. 413 MEPs voted in favour of the emissions trading reform, 167 voted against and 57 abstained. The names of Polish MEPs were not missing from the list of MEPs who voted in favour of the reform. The European Parliament, with the participation of representatives of Polish opposition parties, has had a vote on the next elements of Fit for 55. More taxes for road transport, for the construction industry. We will all pay for this ideological blindness, and sadly, it will hit the most vulnerable the hardest.
Thank you, President. Dear colleagues, we have now agreed on the cornerstone of the Fit for 55. Like Esther de Lange said, the Holy Trinity, ETS, CBAM and the Social Climate Fund. This is good for the climate, it's good for people, and it's good for our jobs in industry.
We can say Europe leads the green revolution, and we will be the world's first climate-neutral continent. And the deals on the reform of the emissions trading system, the carbon border adjustment mechanism and the social climate fund are all central and complementary in keeping the European Green Deal on track. These laws will put a price on the carbon we produce, and it means that the most polluting industries will have to increase their emission reduction targets. It will also put a price for non-EU producers, providing a level playing field so that we will not leave our industry at a disadvantage vis-à-vis their external competitors. They will also need to pay for their emissions if their products are to be sold in Europe. And with the help of the Social Climate Fund, amounting to an estimated total of €86.7 billion, this will ensure that the climate transition leaves no one behind. We have to make this transition together.
Lawmakers also back the EU's world-first plan to phase in a levy on imports of high-carbon goods from 2026, targeting imports of steel, cement, aluminium, fertilisers, electricity and hydrogen. The laws still need final approval from EU countries who will assess them in the next few weeks.